Do you have a partner that during an argument, they simply just shut down or walk away? This is called stonewalling. I have another video on it, so check that out. But I want to explain a little bit more about this. So, most people who stonewall, that just like shut down, they're not doing this intentionally. What they're doing is they're essentially becoming super overwhelmed by the emotions during this conflict, and their nervous system gets deregulated and they just essentially disassociate and they completely shut down. They go into kind of like this freeze or flight response, right? And so it's a self protection mechanism. It's usually linked to underlying trauma. But it gets a little bit more complicated because most of us do something called projection in psychology. And so essentially, when we feel a certain emotion, especially difficult emotions, it's often a lot more attractive to us to kind of put that emotion, like the reason we're feeling that emotion, on the other person. And so think about it this way. I could be having a conflict with you and I get super triggered. I get completely overwhelmed and my nervous system is gone haywire. And I have this desire to leave the conflict or to stonewall you. I could think like, oh, I have underlying trauma and my nervous system is kind of out of whack and this is completely my fault. That is typically not the normal human response. Typically, what people will think in their minds, which is going to be more protective, because remember, the brain always wants to protect itself, is they're going to think, wow, this person I'm having a conflict with is completely irrational. They are just acting crazy. And now I need to go leave the conflict because otherwise, like, nothing can get solved because, like, I'm this rational person that needs to go and they're completely irrational. And so, like, they are triggering this response in me because they're just being so crazy. So, see the difference here? In the second example, basically, I'm putting the fault on the other person. And that's a lot of times what we will do as humans. We will project the emotion, the reasoning onto another person in order to make ourselves look better in our own minds. It sounds a little bit kind of corrosive, which I guess it is, but it is something that is very normal for us. So if you are interacting with someone that's stonewalling and they're basically like blaming you, this is a normal thing to do. It's not a good thing to do. I never said that this is good, but you can kind of understand why they're doing this. This is, again, a self protection mechanism.